And we're back. Alright, so any Unholy DK is going to use 3 stacks of Festromite. No matter what traits you fucking pick. Talents, 3 Festromite, or you're fucking noob. Alright? Now with this Mass AoE Unholy Death Knight spec, it works off mass exploding wounds on your target. And the more mastery, the more damage. So when you're blowing up, or when you're hitting Scourge Strike, Festering Strike, inside of your Death and Decay, and there's 20 mobs with a wound, they all blow up at once, 20 times, that's how much damage you're doing each Festering Strike. It's stupid, but it takes time to set up. You have to set up for it. Your tank has to be aware that you're using it, so he knows how to pull accordingly. It's so much of a hassle. Like, most of the time they tell me, don't fucking pick this spec. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of shitty. Like, Unholy's in a really bad spot. The only thing that I'm good for is battle res. I mean, I can do great single target on bosses on a terrain. I can pull like 30k easy. But that's with heroism and Army of the Undead. So with this setup, I got 3 stacks of Festromite. I got overwhelming power. I got blood right. Unstable, whatever the crit one is. You just want to stack as much mastery as possible, and you want to stack haste, because that's going to make your pet attack faster. It's going to make your dots tick faster. Your runes come back quicker. I'm using a chance to proc haste trinket, the Razan's Gleaming Eye, and I'm using the crit trinket from Wickrest Manor, the gore encrusted whatever. So let's skip ahead to, because this is just talking. Alright, and we're getting ready to go. Here we go. Here she goes. Whoops, I didn't mean to pause it. So here we go. Pop my Unholy Dark Transformation. Popped, all my other skills. So my ghoul starts wounding everyone. You can see them all with wounds, but they just die too quick because they're not all elites. But at the same time, right now I have 23 stacks of Festromite at 350 strength a stack. I'm fucking, my strength right now is ungodly. So that's why my damage is just stupid. And that's why you triple stack the Festromite, especially when you're using this spec, and your ghouls out there clawing, AoE clawing and wounding multiple, and you got time to blow them up because they're all elites instead of non-elites. Then you'll see later on in the dungeon an example on a reaping pack when I just obliterate, like doing 3 times more damage than anyone in the group. It's pretty stupid, but we'll just continue along. With this spec, I didn't use Epidemic, specifically because it is explosive. Therefore, I can just death coil all these explosives, whether it be melee or range, because it's not viable to Festering Strike them and waste my double runes and wounds on them when they're just gonna die. And it's not viable to Festering Strike because one of them doesn't kill them, so it takes 2. And Death Coil is the only thing that can reliably one-hit them or bring them to like 1%. But in any case, so here we go again. I popped all the shit. It just dies too quick for me to really do any damage here. So you see I got one hell chain trait going, which it hits for like 1,000 or more. Now you imagine you got 50 reaping mobs, that right there is 50,000 DPS if you're hitting them. Like, one trade is, it'd be doing more with three, but hey, it's, in my opinion, it's better than a trait that never procs or, I mean, like, I get it every 45 seconds, so, you know, you gotta use it. Your pet just, you always want to go behind the boss or behind the mob, and you try to move and change target, and he'll be moving and changing targets, and then sometimes you can't do it because boss abilities with frontals, like, yeah, it's fun, but whatever. So here we go. We're at 14%. We're gonna pop reaping here shortly. Now this pull here, they did not tell me they were pulling an extra pack, so I blew my cooldowns early, and I should have waited. So right here I dark transformation, and I should have held off, because see, now he pulls this extra pack and I was unaware that this was going to happen. I would have waited off another 5 seconds, then did it, and my ghoul would be out longer, wounding longer, putting more wounds out there for me to, blow them up, but that's fine. Popping it early actually ensures that I have it up for reaping, so that's not a bad thing, really. That's why if you're trying to improve yourself, I highly recommend using your cooldowns more often. Only saving them, like, you think about this, if you're holding it back for 3 minutes, you just wasted it. Like, so you want to proc it as often as possible, but have it for those situations that you want it. So here we go, all my cooldowns are coming back up, reaping's coming in, and I'm gonna pop all my cooldowns again. You can see my chains out there. I think I die here. Did I go down? No, I didn't go down. I just, murdered it basically with the help of Jam and Clean Shot. He was there. Clean Shot's another streamer, by the way. If you're looking to get some carries, check him out. Clean Shot, what is it? It's Dark the Panther is his Twitch, so check him out. Alright, so this is a really tough pull here. We got these assassins that you want to interrupt, or you can't interrupt the Hall of Fletchers, but you want to stun it or knock them back or somehow interrupt it if you can. They just do so much damage, as you can see our group getting chunked down. You definitely want to focus them for sure. Like in this dungeon, you got to watch out for the assassins and the what are they called? Refreshment vendors, because they do the icicle beam that stuns you if it is not interrupted. It's a long cast and does a lot of damage. You just want to make sure you're not overlapping interrupts. You can see here I got a nice weak aura to track interrupts for the group. It's amazing. Here we go, coming up on, we're on, what is 28% now. Coming up near the first boss. You can see I'm popping all my cooldowns as they come up. That is key to having good overall damage, is that cooldown usage uptime. Look at that, I wouldn't be doing over 20k at all, And so, now another thing, to be really good at Unholy DK, I added a couple custom weak auras here. You can see underneath my character portrait. One of them tracks my Festermite stacks, so I'm not like apocalypsing when it's about to run out and just lose 4 stacks of Festermite when I could be using it at the beginning of a Festermite rotation, and then using that throughout of it. An extra 4 stacks, damage boosts, extra strength. It's like 1,000 strength or something, maybe more. I can't. Let's see here, 350. 700. Yeah, it's more than 1,000 strength. But for some reason, you can see this other weak aura I have here. It tracks my procs of my not sudden doom, runic corruption. So that right there is when my runes regenerate at 100% speed, and that procs from using your runic power. And the thing is, you can proc over itself, and your runic power is actually very useful. So you don't want to just spam and drop all your runic power at once, because you'll be overlapping those runic corruptions and basically wasting runes you could be generating more. So you want to, like, at this instance, death coil. It didn't proc, you can death coil again. It procced. So you just don't want to do like death coil, uh, because you could proc on both when you could have waited a half a second, threw a skill in between, and now you got 2 full runic corruption procs. See right there, I just clipped myself on it, but I had a free proc and I wanted to use it, so that really, it's not a big deal, but you don't get those too often, so you want to make sure you're not overlapping. Here we go. This is the Reaping Eye Murder, I think. Yep. Dark Transformation, Unholy Frenzy. I dotted them all. Death and Decay, and I just spam Scourge Strike. Yeah, Scourge Strike. 400k damage. Look at that. 400. I hit 400,000 DPS right there, but I ended at 308. What? And I apologize to the healers. I forgot to change the second one to healing done. But anyways. But as you can see here, like, I really don't have any cooldowns. I'm only doing 20k DPS. You know, that's about average. You gotta interrupt this vendor. Very important. These jockeys here, they'll take off running to these mechs, and they'll jump in unless you stun them in the middle of the cast. You can stun them as they're running and they'll still keep running, but in most cases you want them to get in, because the mechs are worth more percentage and they're not really difficult because they're casting a lot of the time. So you can take advantage of that. So here we're going for extra percentage, because I think we're planning to death skip near the end to one of the bosses. Yeah, for sure. So as you can see, I'm just popping my cooldowns as they come available, if it's worth it. Like 3 or more mobs, I believe it's worth it, as long as there's like not a reaping coming up immediately, you know. Just focusing the targets that need to be focused, interrupting when you can interrupt, and just making sure you're on top of those explosives. You can see that I am highly focusing explosives, even though our hunter, that's his main priority. You know, if you can help out, do it. Like, I throw a death coil, it doesn't hurt my damage, and it kills it instantly, and I can hit it at range, so why not, right? But even like here, for instance, you can see I threw down Death and Decay, I targeted the explosive, and I hit Scourge Strike. So in return, I lost 0 damage because I was hitting every single mob in that with Scourge Strike. And that only happens when you target the explosive. If you just targeted a mob, it wouldn't hit the explosive still. But if you target the explosive, you know, it hits everything still, because that's the way Death and Decay works. So you gotta know your class. It can be very difficult to target explosives sometimes when there's a lot of mobs stacked on top of each other or reaping. So sometimes you have the tank slowly kite backwards to show these explosives that are spawning underneath them. Or you can get some nice add-ons that make them different color health bars, they show up, and easier to click, but I just prefer, like, you know, basic as possible. I got some weak auras running. I got deadly boss mods. I got method dungeon tools, so I can see routes and stuff. That's a really good one, by the way. Now here we come. I think we're... No, we do pull that. We pop reaping, I think. Yep. And you see 3 of us pull our interrupt there. That's not good. This guy here, you can pull him and interrupt that. Or, not a lot of people know this, but you can see down here on my pet bar, right down here, that is his stun, actually. And he'll just auto cast it, but I turn it off, and I use that as a, a stun to interrupt. It's not bad. It's got a long cooldown. You can see there, I just used it. Minute 20 cooldown, or minute 30, something like that. Here we go again. Dark Transformation, dot everything, Death and Decay, just spam that Scourge Strike. Spam that Scourge Strike. And everything just melts. It's really fun. 100k DPS. Now you can see here we got, sorry, excuse me. We have, what is that called? Fatigue. We used here at the beginning of the dungeon, and I forgot to use Army of the Undead. I know, right? Pretty bad. But, because of that, I can use it on the boss. So in return, because this spec is like 100% AoE focus, using that heavy single target cooldown on a huge single target boss actually becomes really beneficial, because otherwise my damage would be shit, basically. So there's a couple things that you take into account and make yourself better. Let's see here. Yeah, I could have popped Army at the very beginning of the dungeon and had it up for the boss, which I didn't do, but I didn't know how we were pulling. I didn't know what percentage we were getting to before the boss. Like, knowing that stuff will also really help you in the long run. So I think this is the last pull before the boss. We'll see here. You can see we're just taking it nice and slow, 1 pack at a time, maybe 2 sometimes. Nothing crazy. This is all it takes to beat a 15 in time. So here we come up to the boss trash. So I use my grip a lot for interrupts, because it's actually really good. You can interrupt stuff not normally interruptible, like the assassin's fletchings. So yeah. Alright, we're going into this boss, saving our cooldowns now. We're not gonna pop any cooldowns. Yep. Now, right at the start of the boss, we're gonna pop our cooldowns because these bombs are gonna come out quick, and we want to make sure that we have all of our things going: our army, our apocalypse, our dark transformation, unholy frenzy. We want all that to synergize. So right off the bat, I'm gonna dot it up: Fester Strike, Army of the Dead. Use my Death Quill, throw a bomb, popped the rest of my cooldowns, and now the boss has 3 stacks. Right now, boom, and I have everything going. Everything's going. Bam, bam. My damage is 35k, 37k, 45k, 50k. Yeah, I'm hitting 52k DPS right now. Not bad at all. I mean, you can do better with a different build, but this build has, you know, only 19% haste with like 74% mastery. So, alright, here we go. Next round of bombs. We gotta cut the boss away from the gold puddles so he doesn't get buffed. Keep that dot refreshed right before it ends. And just finish him off. Yep. Alright, now I don't have my dark transformation here, which kind of set us back because he made a big pull right here, I believe. Let's see here. Now I don't have any cooldowns ready, so I'm just kind of sandbagging them, waiting. I got reaping in 6%, so I gotta accommodate for that. So I just hit my apocalypse, popped all my stuff, helped blow these elites up, and reaping didn't even pop. So I'm gonna get all my cooldowns up before this next reaping, but I don't have my cooldowns for this pack, which I mean is alright, I guess, but it made it difficult, I believe, just because they were alive for so long. We had so many explosives continuously spawning. Like I'm death striking for health, making sure I'm not dying. Well, I just used the talent right there actually, but I'm sitting on a death strike if I need it, because these explosives actually proc my death strike heal, so really nice. That's one incentive to do them as a death knight, I guess. So here we go, reaping. We got all our cooldowns ready. Make sure these explosives get taken care of. I'm gonna start dotting stuff, interrupting casters and pulling them in. It's important to get that death and decay in a good place, or else you can't do nothing hardly. Whoops. Yeah, just average 60k DPS. I mean, this stuff just died too quick, really, to do anything. There we go, another decent pull, and I don't have my cooldowns. Awesome, right? No. Not awesome. But that's just how it goes, you know? When you don't know what kind of pulls are coming, you know, because you're just swinging it. This is what happens in pugs, you know, it's difficult. Well, here we go. Cooldowns came up, and he just pulls them right out of him. Oh, there we go. And a new death and decay. Yep. There's my damage. That's what's up. 60k DPS right now. Not bad. Definitely want to dodge those final blasts that will one-shot you at a 15 higher. fierce quake definitely needs to be interrupted there. That'll wreck people. Let's see here. This is the pull before the big pull. So I believe I just sit on my cooldowns because I know there's a big pull coming up. Yeah, it looks like I am. I'm just sitting on my cooldowns right now. Make sure I got them for this giant pull coming up. Alright, here we go. Here's the pull. Hit Dark Transformation, dotted everything. Popped Unholy Frenzy, Death and Decay, and just Scourge Strike spam. Don't worry about spending your runic power when you're Scourge spamming, because that Death and Decay only lasts so long. You want to make sure you blow up all those wounds that your ghoul put out there. But at the same time, you want to make sure these explosives don't get off. So you can Death and Decay them from range. Like, so useful. That's the only reason why I didn't choose Epidemic. I chose the see, how did that kill me? Let's rewind a little bit. What just happened? Look at this. I'm outside the circle. I'm outside the circle, right? I'm out. Oh, it was in the ground.
I hate.
Look at that. It disappears in the ground. Wait for it, wait for it. Right there, look at that. It looks like it's safe. What the fuck, Blizzard? Look, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe, nope, what the fuck? Mom!
I hate.
Yeah, so we just released because we had the checkpoint at the boss. That was some bullshit, wasn't it? Alright, let's full screen this thing again. Here we go. And we're at 99%, and we're on the second boss. I think. No. Alright, so this boss is pretty difficult. These Earth. What are they called? Earth Ragers? Earth. I can't read that. Anyways, if they melee attack you, they will put a dot on you and it stacks. And the boss will enrage one of them, make him take increasing damage. You can slow, grip, stun them. You want to kite them, and you want to focus them down before you even touch the boss, really. When they enrage, they lose all their dots, all their wounds, so Death Coil does a lot to them. Burst, redot them. So here we go, finally on the boss. Now I got Army the Dead up. I don't think I use it. I used it, yep. I used it, yep. Just because it's, you know, single target, you can't beat it. It's your top damaging ability. Yeah. I was just thinking, you know, gotta get those cooldowns up, use it more often, so that's what I did. I know it'd be up for the last boss, or near the end, because there's 12 minutes left, so I wanted to get it out now so I can use it again before the end, you know. That's something to take into account, because there's 12 and a half minutes left. So if you use it now, It'll be up with 2.5 minutes left. Alright. Let's see here. What did we do? We pulled this rat pack. No, we're death running this, right. So
Do I got a battle res? Okay.
so here the tank just pulls all the aggro. They didn't need me to battle res, so now you just want to die as quick as possible. The hunter's going to feign death or shadow meld, whatever it is, to drop threat. Then he's going to battle res our healer, res us up. Then you're going to want a food buff, you know, just help the healer get topped off. If you cook that fish feast, it'll give you a versatility buff, but it'll also heal you really quick. It's only like 60 verse or something. No, not even. I don't even. I forget. Anyway, so here we go on the boss. Pop all your Dark Transformation, Unholy Frenzy. You want Fester Strike, get 4 stacks, Apocalypse, and just go into your burn phase. Death Coil, Fester Strikes, or Scourge Strike, spam. When you get no runes, put a new Scourge Strike up there. Use those Death Coil procs. Don't cap Runic Power. You want to stand between the boss and the goo on the ground so that he faces you and does the blast to clear the room, just like that. So the tank's gonna pull him away, and you get between, really easy. Alright, so this boss went down super quick. We got a BM Hunter pulling 25k DPS, Outlaw Rogue pulling 19k, and I am pulling 16.7k with this AoE build. It's not very good, but it's the best I can do. Now here we are going to do a cloak run, or I can't remember. I think it's a cloak. Or no, just another death run. Okay, so we're doing death run here, and I believe the hunter uses another battle res with his engineering helm, or I get the battle res off. I can't remember. So here we go. I turn around. I just outbreak, generate some runes, I believe, and get threat. Yep, just get threat. Make sure I die quick. So he lived to battle res. And now we're on the boss with 1% to go. We're going to save that for after the boss, pop the reaping and skip it. Because when all the bosses are dead and then you hit 100%, the reaping spawns, but the dungeon's over, so you don't even have to kill it. So that'll save you making like a minute. Excuse me. Alright, so we are at the last boss. My army's still got like 2.5 minutes left on it, so I'm not gonna be able to pop it yet. We still got fatigue, so we can't pop hero. That's fine. It's not tyrannical week when I recorded this video. Now here, there's floating heads around the side. Ooh, I'm standing right in that Gatling gun. Just got destroyed like a noob. So I popped my defensive and self-healing abilities just so the healer's not struggling. But you see these floating heads flying around. Now wherever they stand or stop, so like it looked like he stopped in the middle, and he's stopped over there. So this whole row in front of him, and this one in front of him is just going to be targeted, like you can see there. So, and they're going to move every time they do it. So, let's see here. The rocket targets range. He runs it out. Mid phase, they stop shooting. Okay, 50%. Now we got these ads to focus down. Now they do a couple abilities, like the Buster, Azurite Heartseeker. You can you can block it by standing in the line. You just want to kill him, make sure the boss slams these platforms, and get out of this phase as quick as possible. You can't grip these Ventrico guys. It's kind of annoying. But anyways, okay, coming in the last phase. We just popped hero. I still got 20 seconds on army. Finish off the ads. Take care of explosives. And we're just waiting that 10 seconds for army to come around. We already blew all our other cooldowns. Dodging. And here's army. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Push the button. He pushed it. I mean, I pushed it. There we go. Now we gotta dodge these floating heads, and we gotta dodge Gatling gun. Ooh, I ran in through that one. I'm so smart. Ooh, just made it. Okay, boss is dead. Weak ad drops out, you kill him. Now we got 1% to go to beat the timer. We got 3 minutes 50 seconds left. Plus 15 Motherload. Now you can just kill these crawler mines. You don't want to run into them because they'll just kill you. But we just decided to play it safe, focus down to one of these technicians here. I'm pretty sure that's what gave us our 1%. That way no one's dying to mines. Look at that, explosive got off. Almost killed us. More explosives are spawning, and we finished it just in time. Look at that overall DPS.
Yeah, look at that overall.
36.9k.
36.9K is what I got.
Hell yeah. So that's that, y'all. 15 Motherload. 37k overall DPS. I'm gonna show the healing.
Yeah, I needed that too.
She pulled 21k overall healing in the dungeon. Yep, and that's it. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Zelda Zone.